going to sound funny, really excited about this football team still. Got a really good football team. A lot of good players on this team. A lot of guys that very passionate about what they do. A lot of guys that are very passionate about this program and about improving this program. and it's a work in progress. And I knew that when I took the job. It's not going to change overnight. And this is going to be a process. And the guys are up for that challenge. They're up for that process. And the good news is this, okay? And I'll tell every one of our fans that watches this and listens to this, the good news is we've got it figured out. And I'm gonna let you in on the secret of what's going on right now. Is you got a bunch of guys, you got a bunch of 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, coaches, fans, media-related people with this program that have been following this program, and everybody's tied up in such a tizzy, and everybody's wound up in such a tight ball, and they want to win so bad, especially the kids, especially the coaches, and everybody wants to win so bad that you can't win for losing. And everything that goes wrong in the course of a football game, there's these little bitty microcosms that go wrong, a flag, a missed pass, a missed opportunity, a drop ball, a ball that should have been intercepted that wasn't, a missed tackle, something like that. And everybody's turning all of those little things into 4th and 1. And every down is 4th and 1. And trust me, obviously we preach to the kids, hey, every down counts, every snap that you take counts, make every opportunity that you get count. But at the same time, you're not going to lose a game just because your 1st and 10 didn't go very well. Let's go play 2nd and 10. So I think moving forward, and I told the team this, we talked about it yesterday, we put this game behind us. We put the season to this point behind us because we've still got 6 more ball games to play. And we've got 6 more ball games to win, and we're good enough to win all 6 ball games. Now, is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But we've got 6 more games to play. That's our focus right now. And what we've got to do is we've got to relax and we've got to play ball. And that's the bottom line. Relax, play ball, coach ball, and let the game come to us. And stop worrying about every little thing that happens on that, every call. My goodness, man, I moaned and groaned to the officials more yesterday than I have my whole entire life. Matter of fact, I sent them an email yesterday that said, hey, I really apologize for my actions and some of the things that I was yelling at you guys, and nothing was vulgar, but, I was just on them all the time because I was worried about every little call. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's all about the next play or the next series or the whatever comes up, the next quarter, the next half. And we've got to get back to playing ball like that. And we've got to relax. As a team, as a program, we have got to relax. And good things will happen to us.
What were your observations of the film that you guys were able to break down?
Couldn't score in the red zone offensively. And I think, again, it's because our offensive guy, it's no secret. Our field goal team right now is very shaky at best. So what that does is that puts an awful lot of pressure on your offensive team. When they get to the 30-yard line, all of a sudden they're going, man, we have got to figure out a way to get 6 points. And what happens is if you get, you guys just interviewed Roman Clay. We rushed for 178 yards. What happens is a guy like Roman Clay, he breaks open for a 35-yard run, gets tackled at the 10. Instead of everybody rejoicing over that big run, everybody's going, crap, man, I wish he would have scored. We needed that 6 points right now because we can't settle for 3. And when that happens, again, everybody's just all wound up in a big ball, and all of a sudden you don't get your 6 because you're worried about not getting the 6. So, in essence, what you're doing is you're trying not to lose instead of trying to win. Defensively, second time in 2 weeks, we pinned somebody on the 1 yard line. Second time in 2 weeks, they've had a 99-yard drive for a score. And I watch guys, man, our defense, boy, they are playing, with such effort. But I watch guys, man, one particular play, I'm sitting there and I'm listening to Coach Boone tell a guy, hey, the fullback is coming in the flat. The fullback, just please stay on the fullback. And covers the fullback for a minute. He sees the quarterback. He goes and tries to play both, tries to tackle the quarterback. Now he's trying to tackle the fullback. And again, it's because he's so wound up and wants to make a play. He's not worried about his job and his assignment. He just wants to make a play to help the team. And it's a good thing. There's a lot of silver lining in that, but there's too much pressure involved in that, especially when you're dealing with 18 to 21-year-old guys. You know, and when those type things happen, then everybody just kind of freaks out. And but couldn't score in the red zone. We're not very good on third downs and on the offense. Now, with that being said, we had 28 first downs. Okay, so a lot of this is, it's like I had to explain to the offensive staff, because they were all, you know, they were all down in the dumps there on Sunday. You know, you got to take this thing at face value and realize what you're looking at here. Yes, we were not very good on third downs. We had 28 first downs. You had 535 yards of total offense. What that means was you had a lot of first downs on first down. You had a lot of first down conversions on second downs. You moved the ball. My wife, she doesn't know anything about football, and she told me on the ride home, she's like, boy, y'all's offense just kind of went like this and stalled out. You know, it doesn't take a football genius to look at the thing and go, man, these are some easy corrections that we've got to make. And it was handled very quickly. I mean, we watched the film. We ran the ball very well. We threw the ball very well. I mean, KD went another 40, 50 some odd attempts without an interception until the very end of the game. I mean, you're in a 2-minute drill. I mean, you're down 2 possessions with 1:20, and he's just chunking the ball around. He throws that interception at the end of the game. So, again, there's a lot of silver lining in it now. There's a lot of stuff we got to get corrected. We got to get fixed. But there was a lot of positives that came out of that game.
Seems like the theme of the press conference here with yourself and the players, I mean, the theme is, relax.
Yeah.
Is there a coach on staff? Is there a player on the team that could fill the role of, relaxing the team?
Well, it better be me. It better be me, because that's my job, and because I'm the one who got them into this. Okay, I'm the one who tied them up like a tight ball, and tied everybody up like a tight ball. And it's been, for a long time. There's been a lot of buzz about what's going on around here, just simply from the fact of there are some things we're trying to change a culture around this football program. Okay, and that's going to take a little while. There's going to be a lot of, you got to chip away, because there's a lot of layers of paint that go into that. And we've got to get down to that base layer. And, and I did it. Like I said, I created that tension a little bit with the way that I addressed the team moving forward, because we got a good football team. We have an awfully good football team, and I really, truly believe that. And I probably threw on a lot of expectations that were unwarranted and unneeded very early on these guys, and wound them up in a big ball. So now it's my job to say, hey, man, I messed up, okay? Relax, go play ball. We're fine. Everything's good. You just got to start relaxing and go and play ball, and you got to stick together and do it together.
The tension that you're talking about, you said that it affected the coaches as well as the players.
Sure.
Has it had an impact on the play calling?
Sure. I mean, you got everybody, we're about to celebrate. Houston Nutt's about to come here for the 20th reunion of the 1995 OVC championship team. All those coaches in that room, they want to be the next Houston Nutt. They want to be the next staff that gets that turns the program, that turns the leaf and turns the rock over and all of that kind of stuff, and gets the program back to the 95 era or the 2002 era. Everybody wants to do that. So, all of the coaches, I think they wanted to come in and they wanted this thing to happen immediately. I wanted this thing to happen immediately, and it can, okay? Because again, we still got 6 ball games to play. We're not out. I mean, there is a lot of football left to play in this season. So I'm not in panic mode. I'm not in worry mode or anything like that. But there's some things that we have to address and get fixed as a program to move forward and to be as good as we can be on Saturdays. And one of those things is hey, coaches, stop panicking, stop stressing so much. Coach your face off. Get those kids, put those kids in the best situation that they can be in to succeed. Leave no stone unturned. But at the end of the day, again, every call that you make ain't going to be 4th and 1. You may mess up a call Chris Boone, you may mess up a defensive call every once in a while. Mitch Stewart, you may mess up an offense. Golly, I messed up a ton of calls Saturday that I wish I had back. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because for every one of those, if your kids are just out there playing ball and having fun and they're relaxing, they'll make 2 plays up for that 1 play. And that's the mentality that you have to have. It's all a moving forward mentality of this play did not kill us. Let's correct this and move forward so that we don't do that again. And we're close. I mean, we are super close, and I saw it on the film. There were a ton of instances of us overcoming things like that. It's just happened one too many times.
How important, in the light of all that, is Saturday's homecoming game against Austin Peay?
It's like any other game, and that's how we're going to treat it, because if you don't treat it that way and you make this out to be the Super Bowl, you're going to be right back into what we just talked about. Your kids are going to be tight because they know this is the game that could turn it over and all of that kind of. And at the end of the day, this is another opportunity for us to go get better. It's another opportunity for us to improve on some of the things that we need to improve on. It's another opportunity for us to chip away at that next layer of paint in the change of what needs to happen in this program for us to be an OVC championship caliber team. And that's how we're gonna go about our business this week, is just focused on the task at hand.
What do you see out of Austin Peay, just offensively and defensively?
I haven't gotten a chance to watch them or talk much. Obviously, our biggest focus these past yesterday and today has been the Murray State Racers, and getting us better. I have not talked with Chris Boone yet about anything offensively, what problems they present or anything like that. I do know defensively. I will say this: defensively, with what I've watched of them so far, their back end's pretty talented. They've got some guys on the back end that run very well, covered Vanderbilt up very well. They got a couple of guys on the front end that are pretty lengthy kids. One DN in particular, there was a transfer from Western Kentucky. He's a pretty lengthy kid, good-looking body. Makes some plays and things like that. Do some things pressure-wise that can create some problems. And they'll be a good opponent, man. They'll be a fun opponent. Like I said, it'll be a great chance for us to have another opportunity to go get better.
Saturday night, you said that this is a team that may go for it on 4th down a little bit more consistently as the season moves along. Is there a separate playbook that you guys look at, or a 4th down? We have a couple of different scripts. Obviously, we have our opening script of 22 plays. We've got 22 base concepts in our offense, right. And that's no secret or anything like that, because I'm not going to tell you what those concepts are. But there's right. 22 of them. So every week, the first thing we do is we look at those 22 concepts and we go, all right, first concept, what formation we want to run this out of? Second concept, what formation do we want to run this out of? Do we want to put a motion to it? Then we watch the film and go, okay, is this going to work? Nope, let's scratch this, do it out of this formation. Is this going to work? Scratch this. Then we go about our third down situations, and then we have a 4th down situation. We have a 2-minute script that never changes. It's a system of about 10 plays that we're going to run in a 2-minute situation, so that I'm not sitting over there going, let's try this, let's try this. It's just boop, 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 boop. So all of those things are scripted out. All of those things are practiced out. We have situational periods at practice where we work those things. Wednesday is a down and distance day. Thursday is a field zone day. Tuesday is an opening script day where you're just trying to get your base in. So there's a lot of different scripts on that one call sheet. There is a 4th down play that I'm thinking of in particular. It hasn't worked 2 weeks in a row. It's the double reverse. Is that something that's staying in the playbook?
No. Well, it was actually, and I figured somebody was going to ask me about it. It was actually a reverse pass this time. You just never got to the pass part.
Yeah.
But it was a carryover from the week before, and I'm a big advocate of, if you have it in one week and you don't run it, then you better run it the next week. You're going to run that play. There's no sense in. I'm not wasting that much of practice time practicing a play and then not running it on Saturday. I don't think that shows your kids a lot of confidence in what you're doing in some of those special type plays. So it was a carryover from the 2-point conversion that we had the week before that almost worked, only this time it was a pass. So it was the same exact look. We were going to throw it over the top. We just never got to the pass part, so it looked like we were running the exact same play.
Yeah.
And they brought one too many guys. They pressured us. They brought a 7-man pressure and got us on the backside of it, so it never got to the pass part.
My last question, injuries. We saw Tony Mays on the sideline last week. DeMontre Wade didn't take the field. Those guys getting closer?
Yep. DeMontre Wade's got cleared, so he's going through his exertional period now. He's 2 days into his exertional period. He's got to do some exercises with the trainer. Then he'll go into a non-contact. I think Thursday will be his first. He can go out to practice Tuesday and Wednesday, wear pads, but he can't hit. He can go through some skellies and some hand drills, stuff like that. And then Thursday will be the first day that he can get back to contact. And then Tony Mays is fine. It's just a situation that where Tony Mays went out, Quan Stallworth came in, and Quan Stallworth played well. And there was no reason to take Quan Stallworth out of the game because he had not done anything to warrant that. But we've got a little bit of competition going at that spot, and we got a lot of competition at a lot of spots, and that's what I love so much about this team. And so that'll be one that kind of plays itself out this week, and we'll see how it goes.
Last year at Austin Peay, I only remember in the whole career of Coach Hatcher, 1 2-word answer. And after the game, I remember Dave Winder down on the field asked, "Coach, what did you say in the locker room?" And he said, "Not much."
Yeah.
It was as frustrated as I've ever heard him. From your standpoint, you remember that game and any carryover to this season?
No, I've tried my best with the way that our practice plan, with the way that I deal with kids on a day-to-day basis, and the things we do from a scheduling standpoint. I've tried my best to compartmentalize and make sure that they understand that this is a new era, and nothing from a 3-9 season is carrying over to this season, and this is a new day. And it's a lot of that culture change that I was talking about. A lot of things that I felt needed to be changed. A lot of those things me and Hatcher talked about when I took the job, and he was the one that told me, "Hey, you better change this. I didn't do a very good job at this, or this is something that needs to be addressed, and you need to change this." And so I've tried to do as much of that as possible. And make sure that these guys understand that this is a new team and a new day and a new season, and nothing of last season has any bearings on this season. But I will say, watching the film, because you break down, Austin Peay's a different deal. Austin Peay, they do some things defensively, and it's the same thing last year. What happened last year was they were one kind of defense for the whole season. They played us. They were a totally different defense. This season, they're back to the defense that they were last year, previous to when we played them. So now we don't know whether they're going to come out and play us exactly like they did. I would, if I was them. I hope that they do, because that's kind of what I'm planning on. Because if I was in, we weren't very good last year versus them offensively. So I would use that plan, a carbon copy of that call sheet, and do that again. Because watching that film is pretty gut wrenching. That was like watching paint dry. We were pretty bad offensively. We did some things. We put some kids in some bad situations. Had a lot of turnovers and had a lot of missed opportunities last year. So, but we will not show our kids any of that film and get those guys remembering that, because we're past that point.
I know Demetrius and I think Roman as well. I asked him about homecoming,
Yeah.
and they talked about, they're going to treat the game like another game. They like the homecoming crowd. But is that easy to treat like another game when they look out and it is more fans there? There's Tent City. I mean, it's got a different feel about it no matter what.
No question. And you're hoping that has a positive effect on how they come out. It's hard to come out flat when Racer Nation's out there with all the Tent City and all of that kind of stuff. There's a great buzz in that stadium for homecoming. And it's hard to come out flat, and that'll be one thing that I'm looking at, because one thing that I've thought, we have not been extremely excited on the sidelines. And again, I don't know if it's because everybody, actually I should say I do know it's because everybody's so tight, so tense that they're not celebrating. They're not having fun. You know, they're just worried about that down and that distance and that call and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, so I'm hoping that this game will kind of lighten the mood. And I know that sounds funny coming from a football coach, because usually it's all just this right here. But we're in a situation with this team where this right here has got to lighten up a little bit, and this right here has got to pick up a little bit. And I'm hoping that the whole atmosphere of homecoming will help that. I'm encouraging everybody who watches this and hears this and listens to you and I later on tonight. I'm hoping that they hear that plea from me to come out and make that atmosphere what it has been in the past, and give these guys that atmosphere to where they can go out and have fun and enjoy playing football, and not treat this thing like a job and treat this thing like the game that it is.